Hello, I'm Dr. Deena Stacer, and welcome to the Co-Parenting Secrets course. I wanted to share a little bit about my experience before you consider taking this course. I was involved in a high conflict co-parenting custody case myself for over 10 years with the father of my children. Luckily, I had a mentor. His name was Fred Steeman, and I worked with him for over 21 years. Together, we figured out the co-parenting secrets that helped me in my conflict after 10 years and will help you in your conflict if you apply them. I do not expect you to struggle any longer than you need to, but it took me a long time to figure out everything I needed to understand, the mindset, the changes, the things I needed to do different in order to get out of conflict with my ex. An important concept that I had to learn during my own journey to end my conflict was that the courts are trying really hard to help you get out of the court system. So they order parents to participate in co-parenting classes, co-parenting counseling, co-parenting coordination, anger management classes, parenting classes, mediation, therapy, whatever they can think of. So you may have already figured out that these programs usually do not work to end the fight. So I'm aware of that. I've seen hundreds of parents come through my courses, and many have tried numerous different ways to end the conflict. In this course, I'm going to explain to you why these programs often do not work. But for now, just understand the mindset of the court is they really are trying to get rid of you. They don't want you to be in the court system. They just don't. But they don't know what the tools are and how to help you. We'll talk more about that in the course and a little bit more in this video. So one of the things you need to understand is you have to think completely different to save your children, to get out of conflict once and for all than you are thinking right now. And that is a whole long conversation and a process in the course. There are lessons discussing that. When I finally got my head wrapped around how to think differently, it was over. I was done with the conflict. And remember, I don't know if I got the record for being in the court that long, but 10 years is a long time to learn the tools and to learn the skills and to implement what you need to do to save your kids. So by taking this course, which is around 12 hours long, you can learn everything you need to do. You've got to apply it, of course, to get out of conflict that fast. You could do it in a weekend. You could do it over a period of a long time, but if you start applying the mindset and the tools and the skills I'm giving you, you will get out of conflict unless you need conflict, unless you want conflict because it revs you up and keeps you in the conflict mindset. But most of the people that are going to take this course are the parent that is looking to save their children. They just don't know how to do it, looking to figure out how to end the conflict. So my mentor, Fred Steeman, who I worked with for over 21 years, he and I were looking for concepts that worked and what didn't. There were times when he would say, "Why don't you do this?" And I'd say, "That didn't work. I tried it." And so then we go back to the drawing board and say, okay, what else do we need to know? What is common in this conflict situation with most all parents that we can look at to break patterns? What we can do to shift mindset, to be able to protect the children, get them out of the middle, and get your life back. It took us a lot of trial and error to find the answers that worked. And that's part of the problem, is you don't really have a lot of time to waste. If every day is filled with a court day or anxiety or frustration or conflict, you're distracted for your children. And that is what we're trying to do, is get you to the point where you start following the secrets, follow the rules, follow the plan, understand the concepts, and immediately get results. So the trial and error was that we felt like we were dragging a wagon train across the prairie, and we were dealing with the elements, and we were dealing with wagon wheels breaking and ruts in the road and foreigners that wanted to shoot at us, etc. And that's how it felt. Why it took so long is it's not intuitive. You need to learn what does work and apply it. And here's the good news. It's simple. It's not as hard as it sounds, but what you're doing right now isn't working. So we need to get you to where you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, so you can get your life back. We kept failing at certain things until we go, oh, that's what it means. This is what it is. So it sounds so mysterious because secrets are mysterious, right? And they are secrets. Most people don't know them. The court system doesn't even know them. This is new information. I've been teaching these classes since 1997. Before that, I was struggling through my own conflict. So they've been around a long time, but they're not necessarily intuitive to the court professionals. And they really want to help you, even though you think, oh, mine's a jerk. Well, maybe some of them are so tired of your conflict that they just get so frustrated thinking, if I scare you enough. I remember a judge who just recently retired, had been around as long as I was teaching almost. And they'd come into my classroom and they say, Judge so-and-so says, if we don't learn to get along, they're going to take our kids away. And I said, where's he going to put them? He doesn't want to take your kids away. He wants you to get your act together and learn how to get rid of the conflict. Now, there's a lot to this concept. 12 hours worth. Could I teach 20 hours or 40 hours? Yes. Every week, I teach a live Zoom class for parents who come in person. Well, they come on Zoom. And I'm always teaching some of the same concepts, but with new stories. New ways somebody solved the problem. But I just want to give you the reassurance, it's not really that complicated. When you finally hear the secrets, you're going to go, oh, I kind of knew that already, but I have vetted it. I have proven it. Parents have applied it. Not only did I learn it, but parents have followed it and come back and report, oh, I'm so much calmer now. Yes, I learned how to communicate more effectively. Yes, I figured out how to parallel parent instead of co-parent. There's a variety of different things I'll walk you through so that you can start feeling that you can get your life back, be present with your children, emotionally available, raise brilliant, wonderful gold medal children, and get out of court. Now, each of these secrets are thoroughly explained in all of the lessons inside this course. I share each secret with you using easy to understand examples, stories about other parents who've already struggled and won with their conflict. They applied the secrets and they started to win just the same way you will too. So one of the things that's part of the secrets is that you do need to have a different mindset about the other parent than you have now. That's one of the things that's gotten you into trouble. You need to learn how you alone can apply the 7 secrets to get your children out of the middle and in the conflict with the other parent. I will teach you how to do that throughout the whole course. So we'll start with secret number 1, which is where all change begins in your life. It is a change in your mindset. The secret is so simple, but it's not easy to implement because it is a shift in how you currently think. It is a different mindset than the court mindset. It is a different mindset than most people have heard who either are struggling with conflict, they're professionals, or even your own family members who are trying to say, why can't you just learn to get along? And you're like, if I could have, I would have, which is what I said to my parents. So I understand that frustration. But just remember, secret number 1 is where it all starts. And once you start conquering that, it builds. The information takes a while to get into your head because it's different than the way you've been thinking. Once you get it, it's it's permanent. Once you get it, you're like, oh gosh, I didn't know. And then suddenly you'll have hope. You'll say, oh, I got this. Now, I will say, as I said earlier, some people need conflict. And we'll explain that in the class. Some people need and thrive on chaos, craziness, and conflict. If you're one of those people, it doesn't really matter how fast you go through this program because you're not going to get it anyway. You're not going to apply it. You're going to blame the other person. But it really gets down to the way you embrace and make the change. Secret number 1. As long as you only have one way, one mindset, one order from the court system about how you're supposed to interact with the other parent, you are going to waste precious time being distracted and failing to see what's obvious, but hidden from parents and professionals alike. Am I intriguing you? I hope so. It works. I will help you see the obvious, and once you do, you will immediately shift your perspective and your behavior. Now, like I said, it may take some time to shift completely because your mindset is so ingrained, but once you start the process, you will keep shifting toward more and more success, letting go of the other parent and being more present for your children. I'm giving you an example that this is something that will help you. I say get your life back. It will help you be present for your children, be available for them emotionally and physically too. It may take you throughout the whole course. It's a cumulative information. It builds on one secret, the next secret, the next secret. And I can jump around to some secrets and start you right away, but you really need to understand secret number 1 is the foundation of the shift for you to save your children, get them out of conflict, and both of you, your children and you, win, getting your life back and actually shooting your children in a rocket ship with you to the moon. One of the things you need to understand that it is impossible to learn how to work with the other parent. You can try all you want to, but there's a difference in their mindset and your mindset, in the way they were raised, in the way you were raised, in the way you think about things, in the way they think about things. So as long as you still think that you need to learn to co-parent with the other parent, you are also wasting precious, valuable time. Secret number 2 follows secret number 1. And it's like putting the right glove on your hand with secret number 1 and then the left glove with secret number 2. So once you try out secret number 1, you will be able to apply secret number 2 with so much more ease. It'll be so intuitive after you go, oh, yes, this makes so much sense. And actually, when parents hear secret number 2, they're so relieved. They're so happy that they personally have figured it out and they have permission to follow secret number 2, which is like a huge feeling of getting rid of stress, pressure, and even being able to say, oh, I can see how this works. It's not always easy to implement, like I said earlier, but it's simple. Once you get simple, then you just practice, and then you get better and better and better at applying secret 1 and secret 2. I have been helping parents all over the world resolve their conflict with these secrets. I've worked with parents in Hong Kong, in Texas, New York, California, up and down the coast, Oregon. I've got people in Colorado. I've had people in all states in the United States, some with great success stories. Some took the class and said, thank you so much, I'm done with the conflict. So just understand this works for everybody. in the United States, as well as even across the continent and the world. And what's interesting is when I went to Hong Kong and I did training for the government and the professionals that were there, they too said, oh, we need to change our mindset. So the parents who participate in the high conflict program there, they do that online, this program, they come back and give me the same reviews. It just makes so much sense. So that's the good news. You're not alone. There's people everywhere that are struggling. Some are further along than you. Some are just getting started and their conflict is a higher level of conflict. If you get this early, you can reduce the conflict quicker. If you've been involved in conflict for a long time, then it might take you a little longer to apply the stuff because there's been so many orders and so many things you've tried and so much frustration and perhaps lack of hope. Nothing's going to work. Well, give this one a try. What you do with your children, even if the other parent doesn't change, will help you be close to them, which is what we all want. So just a little bit more about secret number 2. It is another mindset secret. It's a secret where you start to gain a real understanding about the dynamics that occur with a high conflict co-parenting couple. And when you start understanding the other parent's behavior, you will be able to shift from feeling powerless to being able to start taking your life back when you're with your children and when you're not with them. When I started to understand the high conflict co-parenting dynamics, I was not only relieved to understand what was going on, I was empowered to start racing to the finish line with my children. I was getting it a little bit at a time, but like I said, going across the prairie, dragging the covered wagon, that takes a long time. And you don't have to do that. You get to benefit of the city we built once we arrived. Secret number 3, that is where you learn to start taking action. You will start to follow rules that will calm you down. Rules that control contact and communication, which control conflict. Rules that when applied will calm your children down, and they will help you get in control of your life. Now, secret number 3 is all about getting back in control of your communication, and you learn to stop reacting to the other parent who is trying to get you to respond and play right into their hands. They are simple and easy to follow rules, but as I warned you earlier, some parents need to have conflict, so they will figure out ways to keep generating reasons you have to interact with them, reasons they need to get an answer. Oh, in the court order, we need to learn to co-parent. So I'm going to cover all of those rules so that you can learn how to communicate more effectively and in a different way with a different mindset so you can be emotionally present for your children and the rest of your areas in life too. At work, when you're gardening, if you're out with friends, you're not always yammering about the other parent. They're like, oh, do we invite them to come to dinner with us? No. So that helps you start living again and stop being the person you're like, oh, Debbie Downer, Ralph the complainer. Secret number 4 is another mindset shift too, but it requires a little bit of knowledge and skills to implement. We already know that trying to learn to co-parent usually brings more conflict and anxiety, but now we get to learn how to practice a new way to co-parent with the other parent. So we take the children directly out of the middle really quickly. We put rules in place that help you follow secret number 4 in a way that the children are not only relieved, but they're empowered themselves if they need to be strong with one of the parents who keeps trying to push them into the middle, get them to take sides, get them involved against the other parent. I can't wait to teach you secret number 4. Secret number 5 is not for the faint of heart. It requires that you start learning how to nurture and comfort your children a specific way to take them out of the middle, to reduce their emotional pain and torment, to help them learn themselves how to nurture and comfort others at the same time. The secret requires that you step back into your children's shoes, into their lives, and practice taking them out of the middle. It requires that you apply strategies to keep your children from being damaged by the conflict and by the other parent, whether the other parent is deliberately doing things or is ignorant. We don't always know whether a parent is that smart, they're dumb, or cruel and mean. It doesn't matter. Either way, we help our children learn what to do whenever these things occur over and over again. We learn to break patterns. We learn to help your children at the same time not only empower them, but taking them out of the middle. It's going to be fun to learn this one. It does take work. It does take time. It takes patience and practice. But this is where you start teaching your children about how to get out of the conflict themselves. What I love about this secret is also it's really powerful. You can apply it to your friends, your family, to your coworkers, to anyone in your life for any age. It is one of my favorite secrets, not only that I like to teach, but for the power it offers because it's so comforting, because it's so nurturing for you and your children. You will love this wonderful secret. It will help you so much with your children. You will be blown away at the stories I explain and how it makes so much sense that you can use all of the 8 steps or just a few of the steps in secret number 5. Secret number 6 is the funnest secret that you get to learn and apply. It is so incredibly powerful, you will fall in love with it immediately. Now, you're probably already doing some of it. If you're not, good, you can start implementing it. But you can become a master at applying secret number 6, and your children will fall in love with you all over again. If they're becoming poisoned by the other parent, you can pull them back into your world. You can show the difference between your world and the other parent's world. And it also helps you start becoming the kind of parent you always wanted to be, but this conflict thing has interrupted your life. It's like you're stuck on the prairie in a little circle with the wagon trains all together, waiting to be bombarded and attacked. Instead, we go, no, we're going to break the wagon circle apart. We're going to take our wagons and we're going to go start building our town. We're going to build our home. We're going to build our place on the prairie where we establish our identity, where we create independence, where we help our children thrive. So this is the funnest one. You have to have the other foundations too, so that when you get to this one, it will all make sense. And there's a lot to this secret, but all of it is magical. It is fun, it's magical. You will watch your children react to you and feel close to you, and you to them. It will change your life the minute you even apply a little bit of it. What's cool about secret number 6 is that you can apply it to your children, to other people, adults, grandparents, little kids, people where you work, even after you're out of conflict. The secret will give you hope that your children will turn out okay. And I don't mean just okay, I mean great. Even if you're not done dealing with the conflict when you get done with this course, this powerful secret is so magical, it will keep transforming and keep being applied in your life as you move forward, as your children grow, as they have children, and you build this wonderful life making memories with your children and having fun being part of it. As you apply these secrets, you will find that they are so freeing, so empowering, and so incredibly magical. You're like, I wish I could have used that as my first secret to get started. Yeah, I could have done it that way, but if you only apply this, you still are dealing with the mindset shift you need to have to win and get out of the court system. And our last secret is an incredibly powerful mindset shift too. Now, it is the part of parenting where co-parenting comes in, right? We call it co-parenting, but really it's the parenting part. It's the part where the concepts you're applying in secret number 5 and 6 are also part of secret number 7. And the mindset shift launches your children to the moon, and you know that you know that you know that you know that your children are going to turn out okay. In this secret, we apply skills and strategies and parenting concepts and positive discipline to help you teach children to be responsible, respectful, and resilient, something that often does not happen when there's a couple in the dynamic of high conflict, where we're so distracted with the conflict and keep going back to court to ask them to help us that we stop being the parents that we need to be. Here, you not only apply secrets 1 through 6, you get to have fun applying secret number 7. And it's so big, it will take the rest of your life and give you the opportunity to make sure your children get a chance to be powerful, grown, mature adults who love you and want to be with you forever. We often worry that our children will be compromised by the conflict, so we keep fighting to protect them. Instead of using your energy to fight for the children, you can apply these strategies, these secrets, to guarantee they will develop maturity, emotional intelligence, insight, nurturing skills, as well as your social and intellectual and emotional intelligence to move into successful human beings and adults. Your goal as a parent is to race out of the conflict as fast as you can and help your children never be compromised by what happened or what the other parent might still be trying to do. This course will help you make sure your children are not compromised. And believe me, it was a long, hard journey I went through to figure out what those tools were when I was in the middle of my conflict and really was lost and distracted. These secrets will help you refocus your energy on raising your children, the children that deserve the best from at least one parent, so that they get the chance to win in their lives, even if their parents are not together or working successfully with each other to live apart. All these 7 secrets will absolutely work for you. Go through the course. Start to apply all of the secrets in your life and start having fun. Start opening up your mind to the way the world can look once you're completely done with the conflict. We have to work forward and then backward so we can get out of conflict by seeing these will help you. These tools, these skills, these strategies, these mindsets will absolutely help you win, so you no longer feel like you've lost everything. There are a lot of people that went through a tremendous amount of conflict. Maybe they lost time with their children, or even they lost a lot of time with their children, and they feel so trapped and in so much pain. Now, I can't promise your case will be finished like this, but I will promise you that if you apply these tools, they've been vetted for so long, they work. Now, if you're early in your case, you'll find that they work faster and better. If you've had a long journey of conflict, you might have to work with a little bit more strategies to apply these tools, but start with the course. And then later on, if you need additional help, reach out to me and I'll let you know what else I have available that will push you to the level you need to be so that you can be the brilliant, wonderful, loving, nurturing parent you always wanted to be, and you can leave the other parent in the dust. These secrets will help you refocus your energy on raising your children, the children that deserve the best from at least one parent, so that they get the chance to win in their lives, even if their parents are not together or working successfully with each other to live apart. I've officially been working with parents involved in conflictual custody cases since 1997, a long time ago. However, I've been teaching parenting classes of different kinds since 1983. I traveled around the country and worked with parents, teachers, staff in different school systems, kindergarten through 12th grade, even in junior college. I've worked with parents and professionals related to motivating children, managing difficult behavior of children, and helping children adjust to stressful situations. The divorce, having a loss in a family, trauma, those kind of things. My degree is in social science with an emphasis on child development and family development. I have teaching credentials. I have a pre-K through junior college teaching credential. My master's is in counseling and leadership, and my PhD is in high conflict intervention strategies. I have worked with court professionals, judges, family law attorneys, counselors, psychologists, psychological evaluators since 1997. I traveled to Hong Kong in 2011, and I taught the court professionals and the private practice professionals the skills, the secrets they needed to teach other parents so that the parents could do the same thing here, end their conflict, become present for their children, and take their children to the moon. This online course is my 4th iteration of classes. As technology has become easier to use and to provide services, I have found it's easier to create the lessons that you as a parent will benefit from. I do have resources, additional programs. For example, I teach a live Zoom class online that you're welcome to attend. It is in San Diego, California, so that means that my time on the West Coast is going to be 2 or 3 hours earlier. If you want additional help, one of the more affordable ways to get my help is to come to the High Conflict Co-Parenting class live on Zoom. You can reach out to me for additional information and the Zoom links and payment links. So I'm hoping that you'll get started right this minute. I am Dr. Deena Stacer, hoping to help you take all 7 of the secrets, completely get yourself out of court as fast as you can, and make sure your children become gold medal children.